Geo fucks, psych perspectives. This might be going on both channels. But I want to talk about this. Why is it that cis men, not all of them, but there's a nice population of them, where every time condoms are brought up, safe sex, birth control, preventative measures, but in particular condoms, there's always this conversation of, well, why we gotta use condoms? Well, why are you using condoms? They looking at you shocked and bizarre. They looking at you like you're crazy and weird. They're looking at you like you're odd. Something's wrong with you for wanting to use condoms, for advocating for condoms. And then in particular in the gay community, in the community where men are sleeping with men, or anyways, in the community, there's this big fascination with breeding. And breeding is essentially having bareback sex, condomless sex. And it's a huge issue because STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, STIs, sexually transmitted infections, unwanted pregnancies, these things take place. And obviously, having unprotected sex, you're putting yourself at potentially more risk, higher risk of contracting STDs, STIs, becoming pregnant, or impregnating somebody. And again, you know, you would think this is common sense. You would think everybody knew this, grasped this, understood this, had this information. But apparently not, because it's always, you know, they looking at me like you got a damn third head. Like, damn. Looking at me like I'm Jack from the Beanstalk and I just grew this big ass stock up. Like, what's going on? They're looking at me like they just shocked. And then, like, I be getting these weird comebacks. So, like, you must have something then. So, what if I did have something, or do have something, and I never told you and we had unprotected sex? Why would you want to be, in my mind, in my mindset, why would I want to be having unprotected sex where I can potentially become impregnated, or you can potentially impregnate me, or catch some STDs, STIs? I don't know where you've been. You don't know where I've been. I don't know you. But this is the mindset, right? And then this is the same demographic, cis men. This is the same demographic, regardless of sexuality. This is the same demographic that then turns around. I don't want child support, and you ain't putting that kid on me. That ain't my baby. You don't. Yet this is also the same demographic that's constantly running around, having unprotected sex, ejaculating in any and everything, everybody, everyone, booty, butt, vagina, whatever you want to call it, mouth. They doing it in any and everything and everybody and everyone, unprotected. And then you wondering why you got all these unwanted kids running around here. You wondering why you got STDs and STIs traveling around the world. You're having unprotected sex. And then I'm going to have information about PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis, Truvada, Descovy. Information will be in the description box below. Information about condoms, different types of condoms, lambskin condoms. You know, there's vaginal and anal insertive condoms, right? There's PEP as well. You take that within the first 72 hours after having it feeling, if you feel like you're at risk, and you take that in the first 72 hours, it can help prevent you from contracting HIV. PrEP can help prevent you from contracting HIV. And then also respect to those who are living with HIV, because they are living and thriving, and they deserve to have love and support as well. And not to mention, that is not the only STD, sexually transmitted disease. That's not the only thing to be worried about. There's also others, and there's also sexually transmitted infections. There's so many things, and yet people still want to sit up. I don't do condom. I don't do condom. I'm married. I'm married. It's just me and boo, boo, boo. Yeah, it's a lot of married people in relationships that's stepping out, and we all know it. It's a lot of people that's saying they monogamous and committed, but in the behind the scene, they are nothing. They are nothing like it. Oh, you committed and monogamous, but you got all these other people. Really, woo. Double and quadruple lives, y'all. But anyways, it's the same demographic that's always sitting back. And I'm thinking, again, this is why we need comprehensive sexual education. This is why we need to really talk about stuff. And we need to make sure that everybody's informed. Now, by all means, you have every right. If you don't want to use condoms, you don't have to use condoms. It's your choice, right? But it's also other people's choices to use condoms. And if you don't want to use them, it's also their choice to realize this isn't going where I need to go, and I'm out, right? Because, And again, especially within the LGBTQ plus community, within the gay community, cis men, this fascination with breeding, again, if you're dealing with somebody that is AFAB, assigned female at birth, or you're dealing with somebody that has ovaries, vagina, etc., there's a possibility, someone who's intersex, etc., there's a possibility, someone who's non-binary, etc., you don't know, there's a possibility that that person can become impregnated. And see, all of that, oh, we breed, and yeah, now you got unnecessary kids. And a lot of you cis men, let's be honest, y'all so quick to talk about abortions, but a lot of you abort your kids every day because a lot of you dip knowing that you ejaculated in that person. Y'all know what y'all doing. And y'all dip on them people every day, and kids grow up. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Kids grow up being that, yeah, your mom or your other parent, yeah, they was a pump and dump. Trigger warning. Because cis men do shit like that all the time. But yet, abortion, you guys, no, that's wrong, and blah, 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 blah. But like I said, it's wrong, but yet you're not doing nothing to take care of the kid because, like I said, a lot of you pump and dump, and then there's no responsibility. So no, condoms, birth control, contraceptives, protect yourself before you wreck yourself. And that's for everybody, regardless of your gender or sexuality. Protect yourself before you wreck yourself, because it's crazy out here. Information on how you can protect yourselves against with contraceptives and birth control and what have you will be in the description box below. And also, I recommend getting tested, getting a full panel, getting your HIV test and a full panel to test for other STDs and STIs, and getting oral swabs in your mouth and anal swabs and all of that at least once every quarter, which would mean once every 3 months, once every 12 weeks, once every 90 days, do that. And this is why we need universal health care, because everyone deserves access to quality, affordable, accessible, and inclusive healthcare insurance and healthcare coverage. And obviously, we need better, inclusive, comprehensive education across the board, and specifically in science and specifically in sexual education, because this is ridiculous. Okay, this you use condoms? Really? In this day and age, it's 2022 almost, y'all. You use condoms? But like I said, this is the same demographic that will sit up and say somebody tried to trap them, yet they willingly are ejaculating in people. I don't use condoms. I pull out. I don't do this. I don't do that. I mean, what is carelessness, man? So like I said, you're going to do what you want to do ultimately. But I know what I'm going to continue to do and what I've been doing. I'm going to wear my condoms.